Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Civilization 6 Gathering Storm, a completely well-balanced game that has absolutely no exploits. Now recently someone who I respect quite a bit has actually come in and played a game of Civilization 6, however I do have a few criticisms of the old Spiffing Brit. Now those criticisms may or may not extend to the fact that I am Irish and that he is British, and of course that we are naturally born enemies, but let us put that aside. He played what I would consider is my game. He came to my neighborhood and said things and did things that I felt were wrong. And so today we're going to be doing our very best to school the Spiffing Brit in what is hopefully a polite and friendly way on about how the game should really be played. Now in the spirit of truly challenging him, we're of course going to be following his footsteps and going for a religious victory. But unlike using the kind of weak and funny civilization of England, like, I mean, who really wants to play as the English Empire? Clearly only a spiffing Brit who wants to LARP as Queen Victoria would want to do so. We're going to be playing as Mansa Musa, and we will of course be playing on Deity difficulty. Some of you may have been clever enough to spot that he of course played on Prince, which, you know, that's fair enough. Anyone can play on Prince and have a good time, but if you want to play with the big boys, Spiffing Brit, you got to be playing on the hardest difficulty. And just to make things a little bit harder, we are going to be playing with every single religious civilization that I could think of. Well, not every single one that I could think of, but a good spread of them who will make this even harder, because it's very likely that they are going to focus on a religion victory as well. So we're going to have a very hard time breaking through their religious pressure and also their unfathomable amounts of faith that they're going to be making and throwing wave after wave of apostles and missionaries at us in order to fight us back. I think we'll have a very good time. We are of course going to be playing on Pangaea with a small map size, standard city-states, no shenaniganry here, everything is just as it should be. And let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. We can start talking about Mansa Musa and his thick boy, rich boy attitude. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, spuds and duds. This is our starting location. Now, you might say that this is not a very good starting location, and you would be right. However, we are Mansa Musa, and we have some special benefits for living near the desert. So what we're going to do is move ourselves over into this delightful desert tile and settle here next turn, because as Mansa Musa, we get extra food and faith for every adjacent desert and desert hill. That faith will be used to make it so that we can get a very, very early religion, which anyone who has played Deity knows that getting a religion on Deity can be quite tricky. But I have a very reliable and strong strategy that can get us a Deity religion every single time without fail. And there it is. Look at that beautiful +4 faith per turn and +4 food per turn, resulting in a very rapid growth rate and a very rapid rate at which we will be able to get our Pantheon. And we will of course be going for the Desert Faith Pantheon from our holy sites so that we can get even more faith. And don't forget also, once we build our Sagubas, we'll be getting a 20% faith discount thanks to that beautiful, beautiful district. 9 turns in and we already have our Pantheon, and we're just about to clear up a barbarian encampment. We just have to quickly take a promotion on this guy and choose our Pantheon. Since we are playing Mansa Musa and we are living in the desert, of course we are going to take desert folklore here so that we can get amazing, amazing adjacency on our holy sites. Somewhat surprisingly, the city-state of Palenque? The blue science city-state has found us, and in fact we were the very first person that they found, because we have +1 envoy with them, which gives us an extra 2 science in our capital, which means that we can get astrology even faster and build our holy site even faster than we had planned. Yes, a glorious day for the Malian Empire? Mansa Musa? Mali? Alright, that's who I'm playing, yes, of course. Not only have we unlocked the holy site, which we will of course place, look at that, a +6 holy site. 14 turns into the game and we have a +6 holy site. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly how you break the game of Civilization 6, especially when you're playing on the highest difficulty, because one of the things that we're going to have to do is faith purchase our great prophet, and that's quite expensive, because if you remember, there's a lot of civs in this game that want to earn great profits, so they're probably already building their own holy sites as well. I wonder what secrets this tribal village will hold. Let us find out. Oh, +1 envoy. We could send that to Palenque. Palenque. Blue City State. We'll send it to them. Perhaps we will save it for later. Oh my goodness. We found Ngazagamu. Ngazagamu? Goodness, who knows how to spell that, or say it rather. But we found Ngazagamu, whose special ability is to make land combats and support units 20% cheaper. This was actually already featured in a Spiffing Brit video where he showed you could essentially buy units for free. So this is a really funny occurrence that we would actually find these guys in this game, where I'm essentially calling out the Spiffish Brit, the British Spiff. Oh goodness, I have completely lost track of my ability to speak. Now, do of course please remember that I am of course doing this in a very friendly manner. I'm kind of lampooning him and I'm making a bit of fun of him, and mostly we're just having a good time because I really enjoy his videos and you should definitely go check him out. It looks like our main opponent this game, Arabia, who also seems to occupy a desert, has come to greet us. I will say it is an honor to meet you. Welcome to the Malian lands. And yes, of course, we will exchange information on where our capitals are. They are all the way down here, so we know exactly where we will need to go in order to take them on. Such a high adjacency bonus, of course, should be celebrated with a +3 era score historic moment. Additionally, I believe somebody may have built the Great Bath already. And I'm imagining that very soon somebody is going to build Stonehenge and the very first religion will be gone. Now, do keep in mind, in a 6-player game, only 4 people can get a religion. We just finished our holy site, and the only way to realistically get a religion for us is to run holy site prayers in order to make sure that we are the very first, or if not the first, at least get a religion. Because if we don't get a religion, there'll be quite a lot of egg in my face. And British Spiffing Brits, his viewers will laugh at me, okay? And I don't want to be laughed at. I am the Civ guy. This is my domain. Thanks to us being the Mali, we now have enough gold to purchase ourselves a builder, and a builder we definitely want to purchase because there's all this delicious silver around that we can improve. Not only that, but remember, as Mali, our mines actually do not produce production. Well, they do later on in the game, but they produce more gold, and with more gold we can buy more stuff, and with more stuff we can make more things, and with more things we can conquer the world together. Look at that absolute unit of a gold mine right there. 1 production, 7 gold off of a single tile. And don't forget, we can actually afford to work this because we're getting all that food and faith from settling near a desert. Oh yes, look at this faith income. Look at this great person income. We may very well be the first person to get a great profit this game, although it is a very slow possibility because there's already one that's been taken by the Stonehenge. Never mind. Of course, Arabia, you may have some of my silver. Just make sure that you give me all of your delicious, delicious gold. We've also just managed to unlock the Seguba, which has a wonderful +2 adjacency bonus when placed near a holy site. And lo and behold, we have a holy site right here. So we get a +5 commercial hub right off the bat. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, we will want to finish our holy site prayers and continue to build up our Seguba because we need markets for extra trade routes in order to get more faith and gold and all those wonderful things that will allow us to truly break the game of Civilization 6. Goodness gracious, I have been forward settled by Arabia, and so now I will have to quickly get another city to block them off from going further towards me. Of course, I also want to settle the desert. Perhaps we may be fine for another few turns. We are, of course, 1 turn away from getting our great profit, so hopefully nothing weird happens and nobody overtakes me, but I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to get that great profit and make a religion that can stand the test of time. How does this always happen to me? Do I have like some magical power that tells the AI to stand in the exact spot that is the most annoying? Like, why would you stand on my holy site? I need this thing. Move, please. You are in the way. Get out of my way. Oh, I won't be able to found a religion this turn because of this guy. Goodness. The AI must be trolling me. This guy moves out of the way, and then the scout moves in to take over the vigil on my holy site. Like, honestly, at long last, the scout and the warrior have decided that it is no longer worth their time to troll me, and we can found our religion. Excellent. Let us get cracking. Now, of most importance is to give our religion an appropriate name, and I believe the most perfect name that we could possibly give this is that T is only just okay. We will of course be going for Holy Order, which makes missionaries and apostles 30% cheaper to produce, as well as shrines and temples providing food. Why would we take that belief, you may ask? Well, you'll see. What's this? A city that is completely surrounded by desert tiles? Oh, my goodness, I'm making 12.5 faith per turn. Let us settle the city and see what kind of faith I'm making afterwards. Oh my goodness, 18.5 faith per turn. Clearly, this is not broken, and Civilization is a completely balanced game, and Mali should not be modified or adjusted in any way by the developers. And another +6 holy site? Oh, don't mind if I do, with a perfectly placed position to put a Seguba later on. What's that, you say? You can only buy certain things with faith? Well, we're playing as the Mali, which means that we can purchase markets with faith. Oh yes, and then we can use our gold to purchase another trader, which will give us more gold, which will allow us to buy more settlers, which will allow us to take over, yes, the entire world with our religion. We've just finished unlocking state workforce, which gives us access to the government plaza as well as our very first governor title, and we will of course be taking Moksha to a point in the capital because he has the wonderful ability to give religious pressure 100% modifier. Now, if you don't know, the holy side of your religion has a +4 outgoing pressure per turn, so this brings it up to +8, which is an awful lot of pressure when you consider that there is not a lot of ways to actually get passive pressure. So that's what makes Moksha so very, very good going for a religion game. It allows you to get your religion spreading nice and early. I appear to have found myself in a spot of bother. We'll be back with a message from our sponsor. I don't have a sponsor. This is way too many barbarians. What did you do, Civilization developers? Why would you do this to me? Just managed to finish our very first shrine, and so now we can actually purchase ourselves a couple of missionaries to send off into the great expanse and perhaps convert some of our local friends. Frenemies. We're about to convert our very first city of Arabia, and there it is, and he does not look very happy about it. We're going to tell him to stuff it because there's not really much he can do to stop us from spreading our religion inside his territory. And there we have it. We have spread the true religion, that tea is only just okay. Tea is tea is tea. It's tea, man. But it's like, come on, it's only okay. Like it's just okay. Come on, you don't need to build an entire personality, an entire brand around the idea that you love tea. Come on now, that would be preposterous and silly. Let's also do the conversion of Cahokia. We just need another little spread in here, and there it is. We've already converted 2 of Arabia's cities. Of course, we're going to have to convert all of his cities, because if we leave even one single city for Arabia, he is going to keep cranking out all of the missionaries in the world with his 89 faith per turn. That is a ridiculous amount of faith, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even have to tell you that. That is a ridiculous amount of faith for an enemy AI to have. We're at 78 turns into the game. He's making more faith than there are turns in the game. That is preposterous and ridiculous, and it's very difficult to overcome. This is why we don't play on Deity, kids. If you want to have fun playing Civ, do not play on Deity. I do not recommend it, okay? Just play on Prince and have a good time. This is painful. It appears that Arabia has decided that I've been a very naughty boy. What would I forward settled him, and I'm starting to convert his cities. Now, he has a very large army. I do not. I have 2 archers and a warrior. So perhaps we might need to save a little bit of cash to be able to purchase an army. But, you know, we could always just be really, really greedy and maybe die. That sounds like fun too. Homs was once the cradle of Islam, but now the faithful flock that the temples of tea is only just okay. We have managed to convert the Arabian holy site of Islam, and hopefully we can get a hold of the last few cities to eradicate the religion of Islam from the world. Oh, that's kind of a bit of a spicy way to say that. I might have to edit that out, but I might also leave it in because it's kind of humorous to hear me talking about how spicy it is. Anyway, look, in a video game we have destroyed Islam, okay? I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is that Cairo is the only city left in the world because no other city is providing religious pressure to Cairo. So it's the only city left in the world that actually follows Islam. I guess you could technically say Nagazar Gamu. I still don't know how to pronounce the city's name. The militaristic city-state is also following Islam, but they can't actually make like missionaries and stuff like that, so it's inconsequential. However, there's a bit of a problem. He managed to get apostles. He has temples and apostles, so I'm gonna have to like really, really try quite hard in order to convert this city so that I can eliminate Islam and essentially take out 1/4 of the people who I'm going to need to fight in order to win this game. Another little cute and fun trick that you guys might be able to use in your games is to sell your excess diplomatic favor to the AI. Since we're not really using our diplomatic favor for anything, may as well get some money out of it, which will allow me to upgrade a crossbowman or 2 in order to defend against this city-state that has flipped in favor of my enemies. Yes, we're having a little bit of trouble holding off the barbarian hordes, although maybe that's a little bit inappropriate, but Poland has a rather large army that I'm hoping they bring over, as does India. They have quite a large group of these are elephants. They're swinging in with some elephants. Yeah, so we might be able to hold off. We do have a whole bunch of faith saved up, but there's not really much point recruiting any apostles right now because I can't actually convert him while I'm at war. Thankfully, the Polish heavy cavalry have arrived to bring relief to Kumbi Salah, and now we can start bringing the fight to Arabia, hopefully clearing out some of these units and retaking Jen for my empire. And wonderfully, we managed to convert the city of Nazgazgabagarmu during war, so we get +3 era score, which is quite a nice feather in our cap, because you get extra era score if you convert a city while you're at war with them. Now, thankfully, the Polish heavy cavalry have swooped in here and brought down the city to a pretty reasonable health level, so I should, in theory, be able to get my heavy cavalry chariot over here in position and take the city back. Oh no, it doesn't have enough movement. They were standing in the way. That is very unfortunate. At least the city will be liberated, I hope. I think they will liberate it. I don't actually know. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I've never been in this kind of position where the AI is actually helping me in a war. This is a whole lot of firsts for me in this series. And there we go, they have taken Gen, and they did not liberate it, but it will rebel in 3 turns, so that's hopefully going to go in my favor. And that does mean that we have beaten the military emergency, and it is over. So now we need to get peace with Saladin if we can. He wants to take 9 gold per turn. 9 gold per turn is a very reasonable amount of gold to demand, especially since we can go back to trading with him and then start spamming out as many traders as possible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the day has come to finally start getting apostles. We will, of course, be only recruiting in our capital because that's where we get the double promoted apostles. But for now, we shall move forward once we get these guys promoted. This is one of my favorite promotions. Proselytizer removes 75% of the existing pressure from other religions. How that works is if we go over here and check out Homs, for example, you can see, if I hover over here, that they have 2,247 pressure. Now, take that number and multiply it by 0.25 and they'll be left with about 600 to 700 pressure once I convert this city with this apostle. It's a very, very powerful promotion and I'm very glad that I had an opportunity to get it. It pairs really, really well with Translator. You can eliminate all of the enemy pressure and then use a Translator to boost your pressure. No need for extra spreads. I've got all the spreads I need. I just need the strongest promotions. Promotion seller, I need your strongest promotions. One thing to keep in mind, not only are we going to have the ability to eliminate pressure in the enemy cities, having debaters is very important because if you can kill enemy religious units, it's worth a lot of spread pressure. So we're going to go ahead and make sure to take up the debater promotion wherever we can. Even if there is a promotion that gives us lots of spreads, debater is just that powerful when you're trying to go for a religion victory. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gen has gone independent, and it should be relatively easy for it to flip back to me. You can see by the symbol that's appearing on the city that it will, in fact, flip to me in about 10 turns. We will have to deal with a couple of errant musketmen causing me a little bit of an issue, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem since we do have 3 crossbowmen to shoot them, and I might even be able to take this city back with just some casual crossbowmen attacks. And here we go, the March of the Apostles has begun. Every single one of these apostles right here that I have just moved actually has the debater promotion, so we're in a really good spot to get some serious damage done to Arabia's religion. And these guys are going to be serving us all throughout the massive crusade that will go across the entire continent. I will set up one army to go down to the south, and then I will set up a second army to go up through the north. These will be religious armies, the likes of which have never been seen on the face of civilization. I actually completely forgot that we got 100 diplomatic favor from winning that military emergency. So we're going to go ahead and pop into Tamar and say, hello, Tamar. I believe you like diplomatic favor. What's that? You love diplomatic favor? Why don't you just give me all of the gold that you've ever had? Seems like I'm probably overpaying here. 50? Perhaps 60 would do. It looks like exactly 88 diplomatic favor will give me all of her gold per turn. That is 90 gold per turn I just picked up. Well, technically 89 was the accurate number, but 90 I would say is a good enough estimation. We're currently making 200 gold per turn and 200 faith per turn, so we will have no problem churning out religious units. And you can actually see that the very first ones are beginning to arrive. And this is my proselytizer, who will completely eliminate the religion in here. Let's take a look at the numbers, right? Up to 2,200 pressure. I go ahead and use the religious conversion. Bam. All the pressure is gone and it now belongs to me. Thank you very much, Civilization 6, for giving me this perfectly balanced upgrade for my apostles. What's that? Oh, Hatton is following Islam? Let me change that. Bop! It is now following T is only just okay. The religion of T is only just A-okay. Must. Did I say A-okay? No, it's only okay. If it was A-okay, it would be better than okay, right? So it must only be okay. T is only just okay. That is the religion that we are spreading. And my golly, we should have Arabia converted in just a handful of turns. There we are, boys and girls. We're about to retake our city back a little bit earlier than it would flip independently. It will, however, damage the city slightly, but I think that is a worthy price to pay to get Gen back. It will, of course, lose my religion as well temporarily, but in the long run, we will be just perfectly fine, and we've restored our empire. In fact, it might even be worth it to consider settling a couple of extra cities up here just to get that little bit of extra faith to squeeze out of our empire so that we can get even more religious units. I've even started sending a couple of apostles up here to Poland, although this will be more of a sort of weak attack. I'm really only sending them up here to get a bit of era score because I would like to get a heroic age if at all possible. Once again, folks, we have completely converted Arabia to our religion with the exception of Cairo, the last bastion of Islam will fall, hopefully, within the next couple of turns. I'm hoping that he will attack me. He does have a lot of religious combat strength boosts, but I do have quite a few debaters hanging around that I'll be able to use to great success against his apostles. The very first Indian city has fallen to the belief that tea is only just okay. The very first Arabian apostle is about to fall in battle. Oh, it will feel so good to finally kill one of these. And there it is. We have killed an apostle, converted all these cities. We just have to finish off Cairo, and then the world is our oyster. Oh, and there it is. I didn't think it was actually going to convert it, but I have perfectly eliminated Islam. There are no more Islamic cities in the world. Wait. Olonets in Russia is following Islam. What? Of course, there would be one city left to make me a liar. However, we have not completely eliminated the religion because we do need to kill off these apostles so they can't restore the religion. And then once a single city is restored, Arabia will be able to buy more religious units. So we need to completely eradicate all of the units, and then we can move on, safe in the knowledge that Islam cannot come back and prevent us from winning the game. If you are planning on having any kind of religious combat, make sure you bring along a nice guru to just top everyone else's health up as you go along. It is a great way to make sure that you have enough health and enough combat strength to continue on fighting the good fight. Looks like we've got a bit of a religious three-way going on up here. India, Georgia, and myself. Is that Georgia? Yeah, that's Georgia. So I'm just going to step back a tile. Actually, Georgia, why are you spreading Eastern Orthodoxy? This is not your religion, is it? Whose religion is this? Oh, it does belong to Georgia. So I guess me and Georgia are now fighting over Poland, because Poland never founded a religion. I was wondering why Poland was okay with me spreading my religion to them. Well, I guess now we have the answer why. And every time we spread, we now have secured ourselves a golden age with around 10 to 26 turns. Not exactly a precise range. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a wide range of possibilities there. But I guess it kind of serves the purpose of telling us roughly how long it will be until we need to get that nice heroic age that we've been looking for. And when you're going to use a guru charge, make sure you position as many units around it as possible so that you can get the maximum amount of healing on your religious combat units. And there it is, he just died. He killed himself on my own units. Oh, wonderful. The very last Islamic apostle that I know of in the world is dead, and I can finally move on with my conquest of the world from a religious standpoint. We're already making good progress up here in Poland. We've converted 3 cities and we're working on a 4th. We've already converted all of Arabia. Now we just need to take out India, make our way over, take out Georgia, and then fill in Russia with our delightful, delightful religion. It'll take a bit of time, but you know, anything is possible when you're playing as the Mali Empire. It's like easily one of the most broken civilizations in the game. And by broken, I mean they're kind of okay. If you want to know what a satisfying guru charge expenditure looks like, look no further. Fully healed all of these apostles. Never mind that these guys are not fully healed. They were fully healed, all of the apostles, okay? And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Chennai has been once was the cradle of Hinduism, but now the faithful flock to the temple of tea is only just okay. Remember that. Tea is only just okay. With the conversion of Chennai, we're just about at the halfway mark of converting around India. So I'm quite happy to say that India should be converted within the next 10 turns. We've got quite a large religious army over here, and we are constantly buying new ones to send to the front line. I'm kind of distributing them between the north and the south. The north leads a little bit more reinforcements over here. Georgia is fighting particularly hard for Poland. So I'm going to need some apostles with some promotions that have benefits towards fighting in the north. And I'd really, really like to get suzerainty of Yerevan away from whoever has it right now. I think I did just take it away, which would allow me to choose whatever promotion that I pleased, and hopefully we can get that online before the end of the game and start really making progress. You might be wondering, why are we building entertainment complexes? And I'll explain it briefly. In this particular game, all we care about is how much faith we generate, and if we get a surplus of amenities, we will generate more faith. You can see some of my cities actually don't have positive amenities and are even taking penalties. You can see here we're losing 5% of the faith that this city could be generating because we don't have positive amenities. We build a entertainment district and an entertainment square building, the arena, that's what it's called, sometimes I forget. We build an arena, bada bing, bada boom. Spiffing Brit's your uncle, and we've got an extra 1.7 faith per turn out of this city, alongside the production and all the other things that it gives you benefits for. If we take a quick peep at the Empire's Lens map mode, we've actually converted almost every single city that India owns that has a holy site, which means India will not be able to produce any more religious units. So as long as we keep all of the cities with holy sites converted, we've effectively eliminated the religion of Hinduism, as long as additionally we also make sure that he doesn't have any religious units hanging around to reconvert his cities. But I think we are basically done with India now, and we can set our sights on the pass between Poland and Georgia and onto Russia, and soon our armies will converge over here. India still has a little bit of fight left in them. They've got a couple of apostles over here trying to oppose me, but of course we will find a way to make sure that they cannot oppose us. Hopefully using a debater, and it looks like I did indeed find one. And we should be able to fight these two guys off, take over Calcutta, and keep moving along. Die, heathen! Bam. Looks like we took out one of the very last apostles that India has. The very last one is hiding inside this city, which will probably be a little bit more work to make sure that we get the kill on, but, you know, it should be able to work out. Perhaps I can bait them out with this guru? Another satisfying guru heal. Bam. Arabia, we've been over this, dude. You don't need to declare war on me. You can't win. Oh god, he has musketmen. He might be able to win. Oh god, why didn't I build walls in Gen? What have I done? What can I buy? Can I buy a unit? Oh god, I've no gold. I just spent my gold. Panic stations. Uh-oh. And here lies the very last Indian apostle. And with the death of that apostle, India is now completely converted, with the exception of Agra, but I think that city is only one population. I don't think I actually need to convert that city. I am pretty sure I have eliminated now 2 of the religions of the game, which is actually 66% of the religions in the game, considering you can only have 4 religions in a 6-player game, so we've only got to take on Eastern Orthodoxy next, and that one should be a breeze if we can take out Georgia. And we're already in the process of fighting Georgia. There's quite a few Georgian religious units over here that will be fighting in the fog of war. So I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to pull this off in the next 25 to 40 turns. Now, of course, I do need iron to make my unique unit, which would help me defend myself. But Russia wants 36 gold per turn for 10 iron. Perhaps we can talk Russia into an easier and sweeter deal. Russia, I would like 1 iron for you. What is that? You will give me you want 7 gold? Here you go, Russia. I will trade you that. Russia, I would like 1 more iron from you. Oh, you won't give me it because you're below 40. Hello, Gandhi. I need 9. You don't have enough. Darn. Seems like my meme strategy has been foiled by the fact that everyone needs iron and doesn't have a surplus of it. Well, there is a possible way to get iron really, really cheap, and you just basically offer 1 single piece of gold, and they'll accept that deal. But right now, iron is a bit of a strategic commodity, and I kind of regret not having enough iron to make a Mandakalu cavalry, because that would have really helped against the swarm of units I'm dealing with. I guess I'm just going to have to settle for purchasing crossbows to be able to defend myself with them. We have just finished off researching Reformed Church, which is going to bring us into the late game of our build. The theocracy government has a lot of really nice effects. The most important one is the +5 religious combat strength in theological combat, and the +0.5 faith per citizen in cities with governors, and the 15% discount on purchases with faith. That is going to make it even cheaper than it currently is to buy our religious units, alongside the religious orders and simultaneum card, which will make us have even more religious combat strength and even more faith. There we are. I think this government will suit us very nicely. Conscription to save a bit of gold on our units, bastions to make our cities better at defending, extra faith from our holy sites in cities with 10 population, or at least +3 adjacency bonus. Hint, all of our holy sites have +3 adjacency bonus, so we should see this number go up quite dramatically, as well as a little bit of extra points towards getting envoys so that we can get more city-states, a little bit more faith, and some religious combat strength. We are going to see our faith economy jump up to nearly 381 faith per turn. The closest AI in terms of that level of faith generation is actually Georgia, who is our #1 endgame raid boss that we have to take on. Now remember, they have an 80% boost to their base faith per turn. So that's why they just have so much. But we're not doing too bad, and we're not even done maximizing the amount of faith that we can get from our empire. Oh, no, 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 ladies and gentlemen, because we can even work more of these delicious, delicious tiles. There we have it. I went through and swept through every city. It turns out I was working basically every bit of faith that I could find. I guess I was a little bit dumb there, but I would like to get up to around 500 per turn. That's why I bought another settler to go ahead and settle up here and maybe get another holy site. I'd also like to plop one down here as well. If I could get another holy site to get a little bit more extra faith, I'd be quite happy with that outcome. Yikes. They've almost retaken Gen. God damn it. Am I going to have to pull out a Gen? I think, well, let me be careful about how I phrase those kind of sentences. I'm going to have to retreat. I cannot defend this city again, but that's okay. We'll get it back. Don't you worry. I do need to get on my hands on iron, though. I'm pretty sure I can hold this city over here, as long as I can get enough units into combat positions to shoot these Mandakalu cavalry. And I am pretty confident that Jen falls this turn, and there it goes. We'll probably take some pretty bad hits, but I'm pretty sure that we can survive this as long as we play it carefully. We do have loyalty pressure, and we are going to be getting a golden age very soon, so I think we should be able to hold this off without too much difficulty. I mean, the muskmen are making a problem, and the fact that I don't have any iron is also a problem. I mean, I never even found any iron, which, you know, sometimes that's just the way it is when you're playing Civ, man. You're like, oh, I've got this really great strategy, I'm really, really powerful, and it's like, you don't get neither or iron, so you don't get to make advanced units, so you got to try and defend with crap units. Yes, I'm starting to convert Georgia cities. The very first Georgian city has fallen to the religion of tea is only just okay. And this shall signal the very first stages of the final battle, because Georgia is the last civilization with a religion that can actually compete with mine. Russia doesn't have a religion, and neither does Poland. And in fact, Poland only has 1 or 2 cities left, which we probably don't have to worry about converting, because really we just have to worry about converting Georgia. And if we can get Georgia converted, then we've got this game in the bag. I've got another little army down here looking to sweep up into Georgia, and then eventually come back down around to Russia, and I'll show you off something really, really cool that you can do to win your games even faster than standard. What's that, Georgia? You have 4 people following your religion in Caspi? I don't think so. It belongs to me now, fellas. Oh, it is so easy to convert when you know how to do it. All you got to do is make sure you get this promotion right here, the proselytizer. Now, unfortunately, one downside is that Tamar has realized the importance of Yerevan and has crammed as many envoys in here as possible. So I'm going to try and see if I can get my hands on a Manny myself and see if I can maybe get Puppeteer to double my amount of envoys in here, because I am going to struggle to take control of this. Oh, yes. And we exit from the Dark Age into a glorious, glorious Golden Age. What's that? I get to choose a bonus? Why don't I just take all of them? Do I want to take 2 arms? I don't know if I want to take 2 arms. I definitely would like to reform the coinage so I can get better trade routes. These other ones don't really matter so much. I may as well take 2 arms so I get less grievances if I want to declare war. Although the other side of things, I could just take these other 2 and they're kind of just better. I don't plan on settling any settlers, so I'll just take 2 arms. Now, the downside is, of course, that Arabia also managed to get a golden age, so my loyalty pressure against Jen is no longer really applicable. However, we should still be able to retake this city once we manage to trade for some iron from one of these AIs. In fact, Poland, I believe, should have some iron they're willing to trade. I just need 10. Good God. And because it'll go below the critical number of 40, they won't give me it for a better price. I have to try and think of a better way to get this iron. Ah, yes, Russia has 63 iron. Whereas normally if I wanted to get 10 iron off him, it would cost me 36 gold per turn. But now I can finally show you the beautiful, beautiful, not quite an exploit, but it is a little bit of an oversight. I could just say, Russia, I would like 7. I would like to pay 1 iron for 7 gold. What's that? Again, I would like to make the same deal again, Russia. Now, this means that in a normal trade, he would demand 36 gold per turn, which is like an outrageous amount of gold. It's like nearly 1,000 gold over the course of 30 turns. But if I just keep going back in and out, I can just say, hey, could I get this gold for 7 or get this iron for 7 gold, please? And he'll make the trade. It's one of my most favorite little, I don't know if I would call it an exploit. Maybe it's just like, I guess, you know what? We'll go with the word exploit. I think it's a perfectly reasonable way to describe this. The good news is now we'll be able to get our unique unit, the Mandakalu Cavalry, thanks to doing this cheeky little exploit. And with all that iron, we're going to go ahead and upgrade this heavy cavalry unit of the Chariot up to the Mandakalu Cavalry, which we've been kind of holding on for this guy for a while. He does protect trade routes from being plundered, but more importantly, he gets gold equal to 100% of the unit's base strength when he kills something. And this will be a better unit to try and take the city with, and maybe fight off some of these Mamluks. Although we are a little bit weaker than him because, of course, on Deity, the AI gets a whole bunch of bonuses that makes them very difficult to fight. If you're wondering how you can tell if a city is the holy side of a religion, all you have to do is open up the religion lens map mode and look for the number 4 or 8. If it's a 4 or an 8, that means you know you've found the holy site. And what's this? Or the capital of the religion? What do you call it? The holy city. I keep forgetting my words here. And all I gotta do is click this delicious button, convert the entire city because I've got proselytizer. And then I'll just make sure that it updates with a little bit of extra pressure. Ah, look at that. Completely eradicated his holy city in a single turn. Oh joy, oh joy, oh joy. It is my favorite thing to do to completely, well, troll the AI really. by completely converting their cities in a single turn. I don't think they really know how to deal with it, to be honest. Tbilisi was once the cradle of Eastern Orthodoxy, but now the faithful flock to the temples of tea is only just okay. And you can actually take a moment here to take a look and see how close we are to winning a religion victory. We have 4 of the 6 civilizations that we need to convert in the game converted. Just need to make sure we get Russia and get our hands on Georgia. And those are the last 2 people, and we're pretty close to getting hold of Georgia already. My apostles are starting to move in from the south as well. And there's only a few cities in here that we need to convert. And in fact, we only need to convert 2 more to have a majority of their cities, I believe, with which we just then have to take on Russia. And Russia doesn't really have a, reason to defend this religion, so it should be a fairly straightforward win from here. We may be 185 turns in, but I still think it's worth it to get a relic at this point. And Arabia has started to get really, really aggressive, but I have a relic now generating us extra faith and even a little bit of tourism. Not that that's really going to have a huge impact on the game. However, it is a nice little thing to have as a bonus. And we're going to have to go ahead and take on Arabia. Arabia is being hyper aggressive. It's making my life quite difficult. However, the good news is that this city will flip in loyalty, although it looks like he has a garrison in here now too, alongside some a very nice governor that is making my life a little bit difficult. However, I think we can still win -1 city as long as we can hold these guys off. It might be a good time to maybe purchase a better unit. Unfortunately, I just haven't been really able to unlock better units, so I've been kind of just relying on crossbowmen to hopefully see me through. I don't know whether that's going to work out or not, but, the more crossbowmen we have, the harder his life is going to be trying to push into me, so maybe it'll work out. Who knows? I will say one thing, however. Poland being very similar in colour to my units has made it absolute hell to try and march my religious units through their entire territory, since this is the only real safe route that I can take, since Arabia is at war with me. It has been very, very difficult, I will say this, to tell the difference between my units and Poland's units, even though it might be a little bit obvious, but, you kind of see the red colour and then it's like, oh, I don't know who is who. It's just another one of the ways that Deity tries to screw me as I try to win the game. There we have it, folks. We have 5 out of the 6 civilizations required to win the game. We just need to clean up Georgia so they can't get their religion back, and then make our way down and see if we can finish off Russia. Russia should be a fairly easy one, because even some of these cities are starting to get a lot of pressure from my religion. You can see it's starting to stack up. It's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit that'll make my life just that much easier as we move onwards. And we've already converted the very first Russian city because we just killed a Georgian apostle that was hanging out over here in the wrong neighborhood, and we sent him on his way packing. What for, tally-ho, and all that sort of British things that Spiff might say. Tally-ho! Here you are about to witness the very last bastion of Eastern Orthodoxy fall to the belief that tea is only just okay. And there we have it. Georgia is now completely converted, and barring the fact that they might have an apostle running around in the fog of war somewhere, they can never ever get their religion back. So now the final task, Russia. Now, those of you may know, it is never a good idea to engage in a land war with Russia, but we're not engaging in a land war with Russia. We're engaging in a religion war with Russia, and we shall complete it post-haste. I noticed that Jen was actually losing loyalty, and I decided to hasten that process by running some bread and circuses projects in Kumbisala and Niani, which in fact made it turn independent, and now it's causing them some big problems. And the nice thing is, it'll turn back to me in about 10 turns, but I plan to be done with this game before 10 turns are out, because we're going to use a very, very cheeky exploit that has been around since the launch of the game, and that is where we convert a few of Russia's cities and then essentially trade him my entire empire. I'll show you that in a moment. Here we have what I suspect to be the very last Georgian apostle in the entire game, and now there are none. I think there may be one running around in the fog of war somewhere, but I'm pretty confident that we've taken it out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, the moment you have been waiting for. We have converted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Russian cities. I have counted their cities and they have 11. That means we have just under half, and we can do a very, very cheeky exploit where I say, hey Russia, would you like to just own my entire empire? What's that, you would? Why, how about I give you it as a gift? And then we win the game. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What an easy game to exploit. The Spiffing Brit has nothing on PotatoMcWhiskey, and as we all know, the Irish and the British have been natural-born enemies for about 1,000 years, and I thought I would do my very best to show him up, and I think we have succeeded in showing him how to truly break the game on deity difficulty. All joking aside, Spiffing Brit is a great content creator, and I had a lot of fun watching him play Civ 6. However, I do feel like it is my duty as the guy who plays Civ 6 on Deity on YouTube to kind of show him up and try to beat him at his own game and play the game in not only a more broken way, but also more hopefully interesting way from a gameplay standpoint. I'll never ever stand up to Spiff's commentary. His commentary is on point and he does an amazing job putting his videos together and making them look great. But there we have it. A full game of Civilization 6 with arguably the most broken Civ in the game and beating it in the most broken way possible on a religion victory while trading away your own empire in order to win the game. I love you all very, very much and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Bye!